Hi everybody, Tina here with Loving Life's Little Blessings, and today I finished my 2011 scrapbook, so I'm so excited. I got it all done. I finished up those last little cuts. I showed you guys a video a little while back with just some like little minor things that I had to finish, so I finished it and it's done. It's in my living room and it feels wonderful. So I'm starting my 2012 album, and I think I showed you guys, I'm not sure if I've done a video kind of about my progress. So I already had this album. This is an American Crafts linen, just a black linen album, and I had already had it. I had bought some of these. These are not the albums that I'm going to use. Like I'll get one more of these and I'll use it for 2012 so that they match. But then I'm trying to decide. I'm either going to go with the We Are Memory Makers, the faux leather albums that have the little clasp on the side where you can put what year it is. Or I'm going to go with the Stampin' Up albums. We have new albums coming out in June that are pretty similar to this, but they're in my favorite colors. They're in espresso brown and crumb cake, which really match my decor in my living room. So I haven't quite decided yet. I'm still on the fence. So I already had this album and I wanted to show you guys what I'm gonna do. So originally I did a page layout a while back of this. You can remember I was going to use this as my title page for my 2012 album. Originally, I was going to make this year brown and I was going to do 2011 in black, and that's not how it worked out. So I've not been happy with this title page because it's kind of in a brown, like it was for my brown album. So I took the picture off of this layout because I'm going to change it. And I'm going to show you guys, I'm going to get my Cricut out and I'm going to show you guys the start of my 2012 album. I have these fabulous pages. This says Everyday Life on it. And it's in this bluish color. And then I have these two black pieces. There's this piece and then there's this piece. I'm going to cut a piece of this blue to go here. And I might even do this where it's white. Right here I might cut this piece to go right there. And then my title page is going to be in these pieces. And I have a fun thing I'm going to do with a 6x12 piece. I'm going to show you guys what my front page will look like. Okay, everybody, I am back to show you a couple things. So I took this piece of paper. It says Everyday Life, and then it has the Everyday Life down here in white. See that? And so what I've done is it was a 12 by 12 piece of paper. Here's another one. It's just in a package. So what I've done is I've just cut it in half, so it's now 6 by 12. It's going to go into a 6 by 12 page protector for the very beginning of my album. So one of the things that I shared before was how much I love from Stampin' Up the decorative label and the curly label punches, because they're real quick. They have this really cute design and you can do a lot with them. Well, I had somebody point out that if you have the storybook cartridge, the Cricut cartridge, that they have the same type of designs, which they do. And so what I've done is, one of the great things about the Cricut cartridge, if you have Storybook, it's one of the, let's zoom in so you guys can see. I love the Storybook cartridge. It has so many different things that you can use on it. And one of the things at the very end on this accent blackout feature has some of these really great, I don't even know what they're called, like these little accent pieces. So what I did is, this one is, it's one of my favorite, and I've used it before for lots of things, and it's like the top note design, and so I really like that design, and I wanted it a little bit bigger than, say, a punch. You're only getting one size with a punch. But with the storybook cartridge, if you use your Cricut and you have this cartridge, you can go to this and you can cut any of these out that you like. And what I did is, I'm going to use one. I cut this one out at 3.5. Little top note that's going to go at the top here. And then I had these random and little letter numbers are on my ruler. And now I'm just going to 2012, just like that. So I have my date down here, my 2012 everyday life. And then I have my little top note up here, which I'm going to put something on top of. But first I have this black ribbon, and I wanted to put it at the very top. And so I'm just going to use my adhesive. I'm going to run this over, and I'm going to put this on the top here. Then I've taken some vellum, and I've printed the Martinez family, and I've put in really tiny letters, established 2006, because I thought that was pretty cute. So now I'm going to cut this out. I'm going to mount this on Baja Breeze. Sort of matches this pretty well. So I'm going to use a piece of Baja Breeze, and I'm going to mount this onto this. And when I come back, that's what you'll see, and I'll put it in my 6x12 page protector. We'll stick it in my album, and I will show you how the beginning part of the album is turning out. Okay, everybody, so I'm finished my little 6x12 insert. I rounded the corners, and then I did my top note. That's what I'm gonna call it, because I don't know what else it is. So I did my white dash lines along the edges, and then I mounted this on Baja Breeze, and then I put in 3 little silver brads, and all I'm gonna do is insert it into my page protector. Now this paper is double-sided, and so the other side of this is pretty, but it's just polka dots. But what I would like to do is, when we get family photos later this year done, what I'll do is I'll take and print out I'll have a 6x12 done, and then I'll trim it. And our still big family photo will be right here. So this is the first part of my album. My kid's right outside the window. So this is gonna go right here. And then the other thing that I really wanted to do is I really wanted to put just a regular calendar. I found this online, and it's just each month, and I printed it out, I trimmed it down, I mounted it onto black cardstock, and then I have this paper right here, which is also double-sided, and I'm just going to mount this onto the decorative paper. Okay, everybody, I'm back, and I'm going to put together my title page for you, and I have this piece of paper, and I've used some paper that's all the same shade. Like, this is a black and white, and so far I'll show you what I have done in the album portion. So I have this piece done, this 6x12, and then I have my calendar right here, and then my title page is going to go right here. So I really like the idea of having it layered, and so that's why I picked this black and white piece. It'll look real nice with those other 3 pieces, or those other 2 pieces. So all I've done is I've taken the 2 other colors that I used. This was that first piece with the everyday life on it. And then this was the piece I matted my calendar on. And all I'm going to do is I'm just going to mat it right here on the edge like this. This is a 4-inch strip. And then this is a 3.5-inch strip. So I'm just going to mount it right in the beginning like that. Okay. I've also corner rounded the corners this year. I'm going to try and corner round more of my stuff. Like I'm really just, I used to corner round everything and I got out of it. And this year I just am wanting to corner round more stuff. And I like to use, this corner rounder has 2 different sizes. It has a 1/4 inch and a 1/2 inch. And I really like to use the 1/4 inch. So I've corner rounded the edges of this, and then I just have these next elements are very simple. So instead of using this as my title page, this is going to be my title page. So I'm doing pretty much the same concept. This, I have a vellum saying up here, it's this. I did the same vellum saying, I just printed it out on my computer. And then I have my journaling, which I redid a little bit of my journaling from this page, just because I talked about how my scrapbooking has changed this year and what my desire for our albums now what they are now. So I'm just going to put this here, and this here. So I wanted to show you how to attach vellum. Most of the time I just use my ATG gun. But I thought I would use a couple brads. And so what I do is I just fold my vellum in half without creasing it. So I'm not going to crease it. And then what I like to do is I just poke a hole into the corners, just like that. And so you could just put, if you just wanted 2 brads in here, you could do that. But I'm going to do 4, and so what I like to do is then I do it the other way, and I line my hole up, and then I do another, I poke it through, and then I do the same thing on the other side, and then that way my holes will line up perfectly. And then when I attach it to the paper, I'll just center it, put my holes in, and put my brads. So I'm going to do that, and then I'll glue this down, I'll adhere it down, and then I'll show you guys the finished product. Okay, so there it is. That is my finished layout for my title page. And so let's put it in here so you can see exactly what it looks like. Alright, so that's the very beginning of my 2012 album, and I really, really love the layered look of this, of seeing, and it'll be so nice when there's a large family photo here. And so I really like that. I like all the different sizes of page protectors and getting to use those. So then we'll start January, and I think I might actually start my album tonight, go through and start scrapbooking some of these photos that are already in here. So thanks guys for stopping by and watching the video and hanging out on the blog, and I will talk to you later.